Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. From the initial sod turning in September of 2014 through construction, Southwest TV News has followed the project now known as the Meadows, Swift Current's new long-term care facility. With the recent announcement of the provincial budget, cuts were made to a number of areas, including funding to 5 urban parks. This cut includes dollars usually allocated to the Chinook Parkway in Swift Current. The annual picnic in the park is a tradition in Swift Current, as crowds gather at Riverside Park for an afternoon of fun in the sun. Thanks for joining us here today. Swift Current's new long-term care facility is complete, and the first group of residents have moved into their new home. We have more in today's top story. From the initial sod turning in September of 2014 through construction, Southwest TV News has followed the project now known as the Meadows, Swift Current's new long-term care facility. The project is now complete and already welcoming the first transfer of long-term care residents into their new home from the 3 current facilities in Swift Current. Sharon Sletton has been a resident of the Swift Current Care Center for a number of years and represented her fellow residents on a committee, voicing concerns for specific room requirements, modeling of countertops, and more. Now, as one of the first residents to move into the Meadows, Sharon is pleased with the results.
All residents have deserved this for many, many years. And the future ones that, if whatever life brings them, at least they have a good home. And that's what I wanted, to have a beautiful home like a home.
Complete with a private room and several common areas such as an open kitchen concept with home-cooked meals on site, the Meadow moves away from the old institutional style of long-term care. A refreshing change for Sharon Sletton and other residents.
And they can observe people preparing food and sit with a friend in the sitting area, and I think it's beautiful.
And as the long-term care residents are welcomed into their new home, the spotlight continues to shine on the facility as the first completed P3 project in Saskatchewan, and as the first long-term care project for Plenary Group, who has a 30-year contract to look after the maintenance of the building for a fee of $108.5 million, which includes the design, construction costs, and large building maintenance throughout the duration of the contract.
The unique aspect of it is that the building is actually going to be operated and ran by ourselves. Although we don't own it, Cyprus owns it from day one, or the government owns it from day one, but we will be responsible for it for 30 years. So that's where the real value proposition comes from on these contracts. And if something goes wrong and we don't rectify it within a prescribed period of time, they'll start to deduct money from our monthly check. So we're highly incented to make sure that we do all the preventative maintenance and predictive maintenance so that things don't break down, so that we swap things out and rebuild them before they need to be fixed.
With the Meadows now completed and an additional $5.1 million allotted in the provincial budget for staffing and other services, Swift Current MLA and Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall takes comfort in knowing that the facility will assist long-term care residents today and well into the future.
My grandpa was in the Palliser, and you think, would you want your loved ones to end up in maybe that facility, the Palliser, or this facility? And with the Palliser, I think we'd all have to really pause before we answered that question. With this facility, I wouldn't pause. In fact, as we went through it, I could see myself if that time ever comes, being very comfortable in a place like this.
The Meadows, located adjacent to the Cyprus Regional Hospital in Swift Current, consists of 225 beds and will involve the transfer of the remaining long-term care residents on August 7th and September the 18th. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current and Standard Motors, along with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. The Chinook Parkway in Swift Current is one of 5 urban parks not receiving provincial funding. We find out why in this report. With the recent announcement of the provincial budget, cuts were made to a number of areas, including funding to 5 urban parks. This cut includes dollars usually allocated to the Chinook Parkway in Swift Current.
Funding's about $90,000 a year, and since the program started, obviously, I think it's been about $2.5 million that's come into the city, and it's allowed us to expand our trail system from, I think, about 4 kilometers to the 20 it is today. And certainly, I think our trail system and our parkway is something that our community is really proud of. It's really well used. So, fortunately, going forward, maintenance isn't going to be an issue. I think, if anything, it might impact us a little bit in terms of expanding quite as quickly as we have in the past, but. Certainly a little surprised that it was a cut, being the amounts, but can understand it. Obviously, this parkway and parks are a municipality concern throughout the province, and I can see the provincial government's rationale in that, and we'll just move forward.
According to the province, with the deficit budget, cuts were needed to be made in urban parks such as those in Swift Current, Weyburn, Moose Jaw, Prince Albert, and the Battlefords were on the radar.
This budget is about choices, and the next one will be too as we get back to balance. And we just thought that our government has increased revenue sharing to the municipalities by over 100%. And so we think that if there's an area where you have to make a difficult choice, maybe it's this sort of direct funding to a municipality. These are urban parks, and so I think we were making the case that municipalities should be responsible for funding them.
And as far as any work on the Chinook Parkway in the coming year, Mayor Schaefer says the city of Swift Current should still be in good shape, despite the cut in funding from the province.
Budgets are budgets. Nothing is completed until it's actually funded, and we've had a number of projects over the years that show up in our budget, and whether they're funded by a third party, if they're not, then they just simply don't proceed or don't happen. So in this particular case, if there were budgeted projects with that $90,000 in this fiscal year, then they won't proceed, and it's an adjustment that we'll have to make moving forward.
The Chinook Parkway in Swift Current extends over 20 kilometers and is a favorite pastime for outdoor enthusiasts year-round. Innovation Credit Union's Picnic in the Park is an annual event that comes together each year through a team of volunteers. The annual Picnic in the Park is a tradition in Swift Current as crowds gather at Riverside Park for an afternoon of fun in the sun. The family-friendly event offers food at old-fashioned prices, an array of games, displays, and on-stage entertainment featuring local talent. Organizing such an event comes together each year by a team of dedicated volunteers from Innovation Credit Union and other local organizations. And as our Southwest TV News crew caught up with a number of volunteers, they indicated the top 5 reasons why they volunteer for Picnic in the Park.
I enjoy seeing the smiling faces. When you get the kids out and giving them autograph cards and candy and stuff, and seeing the kids' faces, it's probably one of the biggest things for me personally.
It feels good to give back to the community. It's excellent. I love it, actually. It's the more you put into it, the more you get back. There's no monetary payback in a sense of a lot of the programs we're involved with, but it's just helping people, and that's really the important part.
I love working at Picnic in the Park year after year and meeting all the wonderful people. I love it. I love that the day is nice today because I've been here on some days that aren't so nice, but the people still come, and my daughter comes and helps every year, and it just feels really good to meet all the wonderful people and just see the people enjoying it, the kids loving it, and it's nice to see families out doing stuff together, and it's great.
Where else do I get to be a kid except at Picnic in the Park? Allie asked me and I said yes, so she knows I am a little goofy and stand out in a crowd. I don't know why. I'm supposed to be handing out balloons, but I don't get very far before they're all gone.
Make people happy. I just really enjoy seeing the people come out. The kids are smiling and they just can't get over how one ticket can get them just about anything they want. It's just nice to be part of the community and helping out as much as we can and making so many people so happy.
The Innovation Credit Union Picnic in the Park brings the community together every year on the first Sunday in June. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.